Hi everybody, it's me, Jessica Lahore, out of drag, so I'm giving you alien realness. I wanted to start this series and I've been talking a lot about it because one day I woke up and it had been after 2 weeks of processing and thinking about life and how short life is and how intense it is or how precious it is. How people come and go in your life and there's a lot of negativity and a lot of criticism. And granted, yes, as siblings in a drag community of any city, you're going to have those tiffs, you're going to have the judgment, but there ultimately has to be, doesn't have to be, ultimately there is a lot of love that comes behind it. And I was like, originally I was like, oh, I'm going to just talk shit and whatever comes out about this person just because I know that we shouldn't be as sensitive, blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, you know what, that doesn't really help anything. So I want to do this kind of Colorado drag recognition thing where every day I'm going to talk about a different performer or somebody I've worked with. I may have worked with them really close. We could be really good friends. We could be really close sisters. We could be close in and out of drag. We could have had just one interaction. So these videos might be really short, really long, but I just want to talk about a person every day and know that they are thought of or appreciated or loved, or maybe they had an impact that they didn't realize that they had. Everything I'm going to say is going to be truthful, and I'm not going to try and BS, and I know people are going to be like, oh, she's trying to kiss ass, or suck up, or like, I'm doing it for the wrong reasons, and I don't really know if there's wrong or right reasons for doing this. I honestly just want to do it. I've been in a lot of, in a state of mind lately where I want to have more love in the community with entertainers, and life is way too short not to just remind somebody how much you appreciate them or how important they are to you or how even the smallest interaction could have had the biggest impact. So I am going, these videos could be 1 minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, who knows how long they're going to be, but I wanted to start off this little series, and I'm at least going to do it through the month of September, one a day, where I'm going to talk about a different entertainer. And the person that I decided to start with was Lala Shearz. It took me a while to figure out who I wanted to start this series with because there's so many entertainers, I have so many close friends, I have so many people that have been with me on this journey since the very beginning, but I want to talk about Lala Shearz. So Lala Shearz is a genuine friend and sister of mine for probably 4 years. I met Lala 4 years ago at Aqua Lounge. She and I were competing for Aqua Cinetic, although I always called it Cinetique because I was stupid. They had a monthly pageant, and she was Lala Le de la Cruz or something like that. And she has always, I love you girl, she's always painted very intense. It's much different now, but I remember when she first painted, and she painted like Don't Talk to Me, but she was supporting her sister Amber. I think Amber was competing and Lala was there in drag. We started talking, I tried to be friendly. We didn't have many interactions that night. Neither of us won that night's pageant. It was like 7 Deadly Sins pageant, I remember. And things started to progress more from there. So I remember that we ended up doing more benefits together. We had just kind of crossed paths. This was that interaction that most drag entertainers have where we're not really nice to each other, like overly nice to each other, but we're also not standoffish and bitchy. We're just kind of like in the same dressing room. I think there was a lot of shock because I was that entertainer, and I'm still that entertainer, that I will talk to anybody in the dressing room and have a conversation with them, and I think that was surprising for them. That was the first impression that I got. So I'm gonna be honest, the first impression that I got is that Lala did not want anything to do with me, and it was just like this other queen in the dressing room, and her focus was her sister because that was the pageant, and that was fine. Like, I wasn't mad about it. I remember reconnecting over the course of the next few months in other like benefit shows or giving back, and I'm trying to remember that we started working together more. There was the biggest click is I started hanging out with Lala and Amber because they lived together. Started hanging out with them a lot. And I don't remember exactly how it progressed into this friendship, but I started hanging out with them a lot. But the thing that was different is that I would not tell them my boy name, and I would not show them a picture of me out of drag. And I remember feeling some kind of way with Lala that I wanted to share that with her. I wanted, well, her and Amber, but I wanted Lala to know that side of me because I wanted to be friends with this human. And I was like, if I want to be friends with this human, I have to be able to open up. And Lala, since I've known her, has been the most loyal and the most faithful and genuine human being one of the most genuine and faithful and loyal humans that I've ever met. I remember Lala being in situations where people would ask her about like my identity, and she was always respectful and always kept that to herself, and she had my back when people came at me wrong on social media and didn't understand like that purpose behind it. I remember there being a Pride where me and Crystal had stayed with them simply because they offered their hotel room up to us because we didn't have a place to stay and it was easier. We were planning on driving. I can't remember exactly why. And we bonded over that. We had a blast. Our relationship progressed to the fact that I was over there all the time. So when I say I'm like the Kimmy Gibbler to the Shearz family, it's because they made me feel so welcome, and Lala makes me feel so welcome as a human that I could come over at any point in time. We used to cook together, and we used to go out to eat together, and we used to be able to spill tea together or watch movies, and we still can. But I remember when me and Lala would hang out with Amber and whatnot. It's hard not tying Amber into this conversation, but I want Amber to be a separate one, but know that. We would all hang out, and she genuinely cared about getting to know who I was as a person, my family life, my style of drag, inviting me out to places, making me feel comfortable and safe just to be who I was. Lala was one of my very first drag friends in Denver, in the city, that had as much like support for me as I tried to give back to her. We went through a time where I remember us talking in Charming Charlie's about what we wanted to do with drag. I was like, oh my gosh, I want to apply for RuPaul's Drag Race, and you could see the look on her face of just like, oh yeah, just like every other girl. I remember her like having this balance between her regular job and drag, and we would talk about what we wanted to do. There was a time where it just clicked, where she knew like a year and a half prior, or 2 years prior to her running for Empress, wanting to do it, wanting to give back. Lala's always had the biggest heart for wanting to give back to the community, donating her time. And the thing that I learned so much about makeup and about just being a better drag entertainer from Lala Shearz. I remember when she became a Shearz. I remember when Valerie moved into the house. Lala was so good to me because she knew how bad my home life was that she helped to allow me to stay with her and the rest of the Shearz at their house for over a month. Which was the first time I ever lived with somebody, like feeling like I was included and wanted in a household where I was around people that cared about me, and valued me as a person. Lala comes from a family that's always on point with their drag. You know what you can expect to get from Lala when she comes to a show. She's going to have styled hair. She's going to have a put together costume. She's going to have her face beat. Lala is still one of my favorite entertainers. She gives emotion and she lip syncs. She is not the best dancer, but that's okay, girl. I had to say something. She's somebody that works her ass off for other people and puts herself second, which is an amazing quality, but she just does so much for others, and it's even more prominent now that she's Empress that you can see that. Lala's one of those people that I don't have to see every day, and I don't have to talk to every week or every month, or I can talk to her strictly about shows, but I know for a fact that if I needed her, and I hope she feels the same way, I know for a fact that if I needed her, she would be there for me. If I called her, if I wanted to hang out or anything, that she would respond. She's somebody that when I see or I know she's in a show, I look forward to seeing her, and as soon as I do, I give her the best hug, and I just have to remind her how proud I am of her, because we're both reaching for dreams and doing things that we never thought, looking back, that we both probably judged each other way back then about it maybe not being possible. So for her to be the Empress currently, for me to be traveling with my drag, these are things that we probably never expected to see each other do, and there is a lot of pride for each other, I know, that comes with this. And we have moments where we look at each other, or that we like interact with each other, and we know just on the look on our faces that we're looking at each other that we are so happy for one another. One of my favorite moments with Lala, there's a lot of them, but I had the chance to do a duet with her. We did Miracle from The Prince of Egypt, the There Can Be Miracles. We did that as a duet, and it was kind of magical. And I say that because no one else mattered. Like, we were having the best time in this ballady song. There was like a gleam in our eye, and we looked gorgeous. It was probably one of my favorite memories with Lala up to this date, is that duet. We have so many out of drag, from the Crazy Adventures to Viva Burrito, all the time, because she got me addicted to Viva Burrito. She taught me about vatos. She taught me the value of stoning. There was one time that it was my second Drag Nation that I did not have the time, or I didn't want to. I just think I didn't want to stone an outfit that I had bought, and I came back to the house, and her and Amber, I think, both stoned it for me, and we're just like, they're like, it's not much, but we want you to like shine. It's your second Drag Nation, and like, that's a true sister, a sister that you don't have, like, that just like is there for you as much as you are for them. I'm stumbling over my words, but Lala's just one of those people that continues to surprise me with what they do with their drag, with what they want to see, and as much time as they are able to divvy out and dedicate to everybody around them. I've been around Lala in and out of relationships, when boys have come and gone, different types of drag, during moving, during different performances and different shows that we got to do together. When she had Bitchcraft, that's a huge thing. Oh my god, I have 2 more stories. So, Bitchcraft was a huge thing that Lala did, and she had my back. There were not a lot of entertainers that would book me when I first started in Denver, and if it was for a benefit or for a tip spot, which was great. Lala always ensured that I had one show a month at least with Bitchcraft at the compound. And even if it was more than one show, it was a tip spot, but she always made me feel included and always had room for me and always wanted me to just be there. And even if I couldn't, I wanted to be there. I remember they used to do a brunch at Broadway's, and I had never been to a drag brunch before, and I went down before a photo shoot, and I was in drag, and I went to support. I'd never had bottomless mimosas before. I got drunk as hell, but that was just the type of relationship, the idea of supporting each other and loving each other, and I got so drunk at that one, I peed my pants at that brunch. Legitimately peed my pants at that brunch. Sure did. I feel like I can go on and on about Lala, and I don't have really a structure about the things that I want to talk about, but Lala is one of the most caring people I've ever met. Lala is goal-oriented, and she gives back to this community, and she's doing so much for this community. She's doing an incredible job as Empress. She's had my back always. I love how she performs, and I just wanted to put that out there now that they're done. So, Lala, I love you. Go follow her on social media, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And, yeah, wait until tomorrow for your next person. Lala, I love you, girl.